Hey everybody, John Greenwald here with theblackvault.com. So I published a story about a document that has created quite a bit of, let's say, hoopla the last couple of years. It actually goes back to 2019, probably even before, and it is a document that comes from Wikileaks. Now, anybody that knows me knows that I just don't like leaked material. But the reason why this was intriguing was the title. And for some of you who may have seen this, because again, it went viral on some of those, I don't want to say anything derogatory, so it's going to be hard for me to describe it, but essentially like offshoot news websites. So not like a CNN, a Fox News, an MSNBC. I'm trying to name all of them so I don't get ridiculed for being biased and only naming one. So, you know, those what I would be considered the mainstream media. This was more going viral on kind of like those offshoot websites, but they still go viral nonetheless. I mean, they get literally tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of shares. And this particular one was very much just like that. Now, this particular document was entitled Report That UR Destroyed Secret U.S. Moon Base. I believe this is the link to WikiLeaks. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it. This is what created kind of the controversy of what was this talking about. Now, we know that WikiLeaks publishes a lot of stuff. However, this particular one did not have any electronic document attached, meaning this was just a reference. So when I became aware of this, I was surprised nobody was actually trying to verify if the document actually existed. Instead, you see quite a few different blogs, those offshoot websites, pretty much speculating on what this was all about. Here's Dr. Michael Salla as a prime example. Back in 2019, wrote about it and essentially was, in my opinion, just kind of saying, okay, look, this is proving that there's a secret U.S. moon base and essentially using it as proof. But the problem is the document was nowhere to be found. Now, I'm not just picking on Dr. Salla. There was quite a few different articles, but this particular one obviously was one that gained quite a bit of traction. So I went after the document, and I went after it and traced it down. It was a State Department memo, at least according to the WikiLeaks page anyway. And the date of the document from 1979 was already transferred to the National Archives. Now, I won't bore you guys to death with how that all unfolded, but it took about 2 years to track down. And you file through the State Department because you would imagine if it's a State Department document, FOIA 101 says you go to the State Department. But where it gets tricky is sometimes when documents are 30, 40, 50 years old, they get transferred to the National Archives. Not always the case. There's no set rule across the board for agency to agency. This particular one I found out did go to the National Archives. Well, National Archives, because of COVID, was shut down. That created even more of an issue. But finally, one of the researchers got in there, was able to pull and find the document based on the request that I had submitted. And here you are. So this is, if you can read it on your screen there, let me see if I can get a better copy for you guys. Here, that'll be able to be zoomed in more. So this is the original document. This is the one that was referenced in the WikiLeaks listing, the index. And finally, after 2 years, here it is. And sadly, it's not very interesting. Dear Mr. Devine, I've received your inquiry on January 11th regarding the concern of your constituent, Mr. Said Quintin Arbogast, over a report that the Soviet Union destroyed a secret U.S. base on the moon in 1977, an action reportedly referred to as the Battle of the Harvest Moon. That was actually the coolest part of that, fiction or not. Certainly, Mr. Arbogast's query about Soviet destruction of a secret U.S. moon base is one of the most unique we have received in some time. Please assure him that the U.S. has never had a secret base on the moon. The Soviet Union has not attacked that celestial body in any way, and there was no Battle of the Harvest Moon. Sincerely, Douglas J. Bennett, Assistant Secretary for Congressional Relations. So that was that person wrote this letter from the State Department. And obviously, Mr. Devine would be the congressman who had a constituent write him. So very kind of, let's just say, uneventful and very much without really any big capstone to the story to really kind of show, hey, is there something secret going on? But it's a prime example of how rumors on the internet can get going with nothing but a simple reference. So there was no document on this, but it did not stop it from going viral. It did not stop it from getting quite a few headlines, and it did not stop the speculation, which has circulated for quite some time. So sadly, there you go. Not very interesting, but at least it's a mystery and a riddle solved that has gone on for years, and we can put it to bed as absolutely nothing but a congressman writing the State Department based on what somebody told him through a letter, and that's it. Well, until next time, send those rumors, those speculation stories, whatever you might find out there, and I'm happy to try and track things down. This is John Greenwald Jr. signing off, and we'll see you next time.